और अब आपको सीधे लिए चलते हैं रिलायंस की सालाना आम बैठक में। रिलायंस एजीएम की बैठक शुरू हो चुकी है।
The company has taken all feasible steps to ensure that the shareholders are provided an opportunity to participate in the annual general meeting and vote. Adequate video conferencing facility and live webcast of the proceedings of this meeting have also been provided. The requisite quorum is present and therefore I call the meeting to order. Register of directors and key managerial personnel and their shareholding and register of contracts or arrangements in which directors are interested are available. This will remain accessible to the members for inspection electronically if they so desire. I wish to introduce, for the benefit of our new members, my colleagues on the board of our company. Shri Adil Zanul Bhai, Shri R.S. Gujral, Dr. Shumit Banerjee, Srimati Arundhati Bhattacharya, His Excellency Yasir Al-Rumayyan, Shri K.V. Chaudhary, Srimati Neeta M. Ambani, Shri Nikhil R. Meswani, Shri Hital R. Meswani, Shri P.M.S. Prasad, and Shri P.K. Kapil. All directors of the company are present at this meeting. Shri Alok Agarwal, Shri V. Shrikant, Chief Financial Officers, Srimati Savitri Parekh, Company Secretary, and Shri K. Sethuraman, and the representatives of our statutory auditors and secretarial auditor of the company are also present at this meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, notice dated August 6, 2022, convening this annual general meeting and a copy of the annual report for the financial year ended March 31st, 2022 has already been circulated to the members of the company electronically. With your permission, I shall take them as read. The auditor's report on the standalone and consolidated financial statements and the secretarial audit report of the company for the financial year ended 31st March 2022 do not contain any qualification, reservation, adverse remark or disclaimer. Accordingly, the reports are not required to be read out as provided in the Companies Act 2013. Now, I will begin my formal address to the shareholders. My dear share owners, Namaste. A very warm good afternoon to each and every one of you. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the 45th Annual General Meeting of Reliance Industries Limited. Like the previous 2 years, this AGM is also hosted on a digital platform. The digital platform enables more shareholders from across the world to participate in the AGM. I miss the warmth and the bonhomie of our personal interactions. I sincerely hope that next year we will be able to switch to a hybrid mode which will combine the best of both physical and digital modes. Friends, 2 weeks ago, we celebrated Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the 75th anniversary of India's independence. Our visionary Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Bhai Modi ji, in his most inspiring speech on August 15th, has given us a clear roadmap to make the next 25 years the most transformational in the history of our motherland. The Panch Pran, or the 5 imperatives he has articulated, will surely make India a developed nation by 2047. He has aptly described that the next 25 years is India's Amrit Kal, the era of elixir. Within the next one generation, India is set to achieve more than all the post-independent generations have collectively achieved so far. And Reliance is set to make a far greater contribution to India's prosperity and progress than we have done so far. Friends, the world has almost fully overcome the COVID pandemic. This is heartening. However, there is uncertainty again due to heightened geopolitical tensions and global risks. There is severe economic stress in many parts of the world. Rising fuel, food, and fertilizer prices are impacting everyone in the world. High inflation and supply disruptions are triggering recessions. Amidst this global unpredictability, India stands tall as a beacon of growth and stability. The government's skillful management of the pandemic and the pragmatic approach in dealing with the ensuing economic challenges have helped India emerge stronger than before, wiser than before, and more resilient than before. I would like to congratulate our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Bhai Modi ji, for his far-sighted leadership, and our Finance Minister, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, for her exemplary stewardship in navigating the Indian economy through a period of unprecedented challenges. The most profound lesson that the world has learned from the pandemic is, greater the adversity, greater still is humanity's inner strength to conquer it, provided we care for each other. Friends, this prompts me to reiterate the core philosophy of Reliance, the philosophy of we care. We care for our employees and their families. We care for all our stakeholders, customers, shareholders, and partners. We care for India and all 1.4 billion Indians. We care for the planet and its people. It is the philosophy of doing good to do well. It is the philosophy to create greater value for others first. The ever-expanding circle of care enhances respect for Reliance globally and ensures its sustainable growth year after year, decade after decade, and generation after generation. Dear friends, let me now speak about the business and financial performance of your company in the year 2022. Reliance has continued to make all-around progress across its businesses. Our company became India's first corporate to cross $100 billion in annual revenues. Reliance's consolidated revenues grew 47% to 7.93 lakh crores or $104.6 billion. Reliance's annual consolidated EBITDA crossed the crucial milestone of 1.25 lakh crores. And in true We Care spirit, Reliance Foundation continued to benefit millions of people across the country. Reliance not only set higher benchmarks of serving the community, but also created business value and societal value on an unparalleled scale. Reliance's exports grew a massive 75% to cross 250,000 crores. We accounted for nearly 8.4% of India's merchandise exports in the year, up from 6.8% last year. During the year 22, Reliance continued to be the largest taxpayer in India. Reliance's contribution to the national exchequer by way of various direct and indirect taxes increased 38.8% to 188,012 crores. Reliance also set new records in creating jobs for Indians. Reliance added 2.32 lakh jobs across all its businesses, with Reliance Retail becoming one of the largest employers in the country. Friends, let me start with our digital services business, JIO. Over the past year, JIO has further consolidated its position as India's #1 digital services provider. Today, we have 421 million mobile broadband subscribers on our 4G network, and they consume, on average, nearly 20 gigabits of broadband data every month, which is nearly double their consumption from the year before. Inspired by a dynamic Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Bhai Modi ji's Digital India initiative, our country has seen the emergence and scale-up of multiple world-class national platforms which have brought enormous benefits and ease of living to ordinary citizens, like Aadhaar, a common national identity for 1.3 billion Indians, like Jan Dhan, a self-service bank account that has brought financial inclusion to over 460 million unbanked Indians, especially women, like RuPay, an indigenous payment card network with over 630 million cardholders, and like UPI, one of the most accessible digital payment system with a monthly volume of over 6 billion transactions. Like Ayushman Bharat, providing health coverage to over 500 million Indians. Another example is our Prime Minister's path-breaking Startup India initiative, under which India has launched over 73,000 new startups in the last 6 years. They have collectively attracted nearly $63 billion of investment and contributed to the creation of lakhs of new employment opportunities. And we have the example of how India has used digital connectivity and digital platforms to stay resilient even during the COVID-19 pandemic. With both humility and pride, I would like to state that all these phenomenal accomplishments became possible because Jio built a world-class 4G digital infrastructure at the right time with sufficient capacity and offered it most affordably to every Indian to take India to global leadership. Let me now talk about Jio's fixed line network. Jio's high-quality, redundant and always available fiber optic network is the information.
रिलायंस इंडस्ट्रीज की 45वीं सालाना आम बैठक चल रही है और रिलायंस एजीएम